No, people don't go to websites. People go to websites all the time. In fact, half of all people that go to your map will land on your website. Hey there, Nolan Walker with DataPen's Map Ranking app. Today the title is Stop Doing Blog Posts for SEO, Do This Instead. So we're going to talk about the problem with blog posts, the alternatives, and why experts are still selling it, quote unquote experts, digital marketing agencies still trying to sell you. And I would even argue internal page writing. So let's talk about it. So we quit doing blogs as a digital marketing agency. So we have a software company on one side, digital marketing agency on the other. And the digital marketing agency stopped doing blog posts about 4 to 5 years ago. And it's when we developed DataPens as a tool that which we completely developed our proprietary stuff here with DataPens, our proprietary software, because of the problem there was with content. So years ago, Google said, hey, don't write content for Google, write content for the client. So if you're a contractor trying to get up in Google ranking, show up in mapping, show up in keywords, reputation management, all of that, you most likely have people doing blog posts. And blog post is basically contrived crud. And the most you try to spruce it up to look like real content is still fake content. I used to tell people, imagine you're at a family reunion. There's a bunch of people there. Some people crowded around babies, some crowded around toddlers and young kids, old people telling stories, and teenagers hanging out. And you've got all your blog posts from your website all on a table, 100, 200 of them. Who's going to come read them? So your blog posts just, they're worthless content, and Google is penalizing them at this point. So the Google Helpful Content Update came out, and Google for years, this is a better algorithm than it's ever been, but for years they said, don't do this. Create a good website that people want to use and see, and nobody wants to read 3 reasons to check your HVAC system before the spring, or 5 reasons to get an estimate after a hailstorm on your roof, or all these things. It doesn't mean those things shouldn't be done. It means that nobody wants to read that content. And on some level, they don't want to read like 400 words about toilet repair. It's just trash. So it's like, hey, we provide toilet repair in Dallas, Texas. And then here's 400 words of journal content about toilet repair that nobody in their right mind will ever read. But it was required at one point so that Google could show you in rankings. But in 2024 and beyond, it is not only not required, it'll get you penalized. They still need content though. They still need digital branded signaling, and you can still do SEO, more considered digital branded signaling, or what Google calls EEAT, experience, expertise, authority, and trust. But there is a problem with blogging. It is obsolete, it is nonsense, it'll get you hurt by Google. So alternatives to blogging and even internal content, gone are the days, and this is a good thing for you, that you have to start out with a 50-page website that would have cost you tens of thousands, literally done right, done by hand. And even worse is somebody doing all this content with AI. They will penalize you worse than human content, but they don't want either one on some level. So if somebody comes and throws a bunch of words up, service pages, city pages, blogs, they're even worse. I don't think blogs are horrible for everybody, but they're definitely bad for a contractor. There's just almost nothing you can do. I'll give you a statistical piece of information about this just to kind of drive it home. 96.55% of content that is on Google that they have cached and crawled is never viewed at all. So when you go look at a roofer, a plumber, an HVAC, pest control, pool cleaner, whoever it is, and you do a SEMrush or SEMrush report and look at everything on there, they're going to have very few pages. If they have a large spammy website, let's say that it's a 300-page website, they'll be lucky to have like 20 pages needed, and they're very likely be carrying a penalty. So if there's no traffic at all, you literally cull those pages. That doesn't mean you couldn't have had pages. You could have had a DataPens page for it, by the way. So a DataPen is your ability to tell Google, hey, I did something here. I worked on this type of thermostat for HVAC. I worked on this type of coil cleaning, or I worked on this type of part replacement, a capacitor. I did this type of plumbing job. We installed a whole house, repiping, or we did ice maker shut-off valve, type of water heater, type of plumbing work. And you can actually talk about that stuff and show them where you did it with the geo coordinates, with unique photos. Did you know photos count as unique content? If you have nothing but stock photography, they can tell that it's stock photography, then it's going to be it's just going to create a pretty poor presence online. People don't want to see your family that they've seen a million times before for your main pick. When you do data pins and put up unique photos, it literally counts as unique content. And then when you talk about something like an M30 Wi-Fi thermostat, they know you work on that now. It literally increases keywords, and half of all searches are weird things. Literally half. Google calls it low search volume. It sounds counterintuitive, but if somebody's searching for HVAC contractor or AC repair, main words in that category, furnace repair, that might be half of all search, but the next person searches for a brand and a part, like a Linux air handler or an Linux M30 Wi-Fi thermostat, and so on. And this works for all contractors: HVAC, plumbers, roofers, pest control, pool cleaners, asphalt paving, even home inspection and stuff like that. If you're going to a home, this works for that stuff. And it works for a couple of categories outside of that for commercial, like commercial HVAC, commercial roofer, definitely, and we've done a lot of that. And it'll help because you can talk about things like, metal roof coating, silicone, or full fabric underlayment, stuff like that. TPO roof, type of TPO roof, Firestone TPO, Mulehead TPO. So you can go into all kinds of things in each category and then raise your hand. I want to say something else about this. They don't know you do this stuff. And if you just try to throw up trash content, most people have a web page that nothing gets changed on and they get Google reviews. Or they have a web page that gets spammed with blogs and links out of the country, and then they get Google reviews. Both are bad. One's spamming and getting reviews, one's doing nothing, apathy, and getting reviews. Both websites are a poor experience for a user. You want to have a good user experience if Google's going to send somebody to your website. And you hear me say website. No, people don't go to websites. People go to websites all the time. In fact, half of all people that go to your map will land on your website. One, the map won't show up if there's no content to represent it. Like they don't know you work on that stuff, and if there's nothing on the website where half of all people will land on to see about it, they won't put you up in mapping either. So the map literally is dictated by what's on the website, how many times and what keywords it can show up for. And half of the stuff is what I call low-hanging fruit and inherent within your daily activities and the technical version of what happened: brands, parts, situation. So anyway, I want to talk about one other thing. So that's one of the reasons. Data pins is the best signaling, the best branded digital signaling you can send, and it is less expensive now because it's programmatically doing a lot of stuff that we used to have to do with employees that frankly just cost more money, and it was worse. It costs less money now. It's better. It'll get you more results for less money. Digital marketing agencies are selling you these blogging services, curated content, service pages, city pages. Data pins will make a page every time you do a job. That is the service page. If you work on something like a furnace, the furnace pin, and we watch this with clients, outperforms, that's a data pins page inside a WordPress website on your site. That will outperform a service page with 400 words that nobody wants to read 2-to-1 already, and things are just moving this direction of cleanliness of content and digital branded signaling. Why do digital marketing agencies still sell trash content that costs thousands and thousands of dollars? Because they don't have SaaS alternatives. That's software like data pins that we created. I'm so thankful that we have done this early. We did this and we've had data pins for years now that the algorithms changed. They love that type of content. That is the content now. That is the digital branded signaling. That is better than SEO for less money. But if there's 20,000 agencies out there all trying to sell their stuff to you, and they want to sell you for thousands of dollars down on term agreements and huge websites, stuff that literally doesn't work anymore and might even get you penalized by Google for spammy service pages, city pages, and much less blogs. You do not want to put up a bunch of blogs, and you certainly don't want to pay somebody to do it just because they don't know what else to sell to you. Things change. We know what, and I will tell you this, when we changed, we lowered the price. I've been doing this a long time, and the agencies haven't lowered the price. They don't know what else to do. They still want to charge you thousands for it. So they give you blogs and give you all this other stuff, completely unnecessary. If you think you have this going on, go take your website and do a SEM Rush, R-U-S-H, Sam, Edward, Mary, SEM Rush or SEM Rush report. If you have a large bloated website, see what you're paying for. You'll see it on there. Now, just to wrap this up in the concept of this, they still need digital branded signaling. They just don't want to be faked. Google doesn't want to be faked, and Google doesn't want you to put up a bunch of fake content or spammy content that creates a poor user experience, because that's the Google user. If they send them to your 400 pages of junk and trash, they're going to have a poor experience, and they're going to judge Google for it, or Bing or ChatGPT. This works for AI search. This works for Google. It works for Bing. But they do need to see your digital branded signaling. Don't give up on it. Everything you can affect yourself showing up in map ranking, organic keyword ranking, reputation reviews. You need to fight hard for it. DataPens was made for you, literally made for you. We want you to get leads. We want you to use DataPens, and we'd love to be a service. When you're ready, give us a call. We'd like to hear from you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you've got any issues or anything, we'll assess them for free. Call up, ask questions. We look forward to speaking with you.